Welcome back to Conversations with Beers. In this video, we're going to discuss if women actually know what they really want from a man. Come watch this with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something. The level of intelligence is deteriorating in humanity rapidly. There's a young lady who did a interview. Doechii, whatever her name is. She said she was asked what is the biggest red flag in dating, and her response was, if you are a heterosexual man, mind you, now this is a woman saying that the biggest red flag in dating, if you're a heterosexual man, if you're a man that likes women, that is a this is a woman saying it's a red flag for a man to like women. Do you know how silly? Like, what would you say if a man got up and said that the biggest red flag in dating is if a woman likes men? That is the silliest thing in the world. Just go to counseling. Go heal, okay? We all go through things when it comes to the opposite sex. We all do. But don't walk around with that hurt because you just sound silly as hell. I mean, come on now. That's like saying the biggest red flag in an accountant is if he like math. Like, ugh. Like, what, if you a driver and you like cars, you know what I'm saying? If you a plant that like water, like what is a bee that like honey? You know what I'm saying? A car that like gas. Red flag if you a baby that like to breastfeed. Like, what is? Are you serious? Come on now. It ain't it. So in order for a man to be okay, he could not be attracted to you. He has to not be attracted to you first.
Do you know what's deep here? As I watch it, I'm thinking to myself, at that last minute, as he closed, I was just like, do I actually get what she's saying? And obviously, maybe she, as he said, like she's got hurt. There's some hurt this woman has gone through. And you know, I guess the premise is if a man likes women, then he's like a dog because he can't control himself. And this reminds me of a conversation we had recently, I think maybe off camera. And I think this is a challenge, you know, this carnal man, if women only are aware of the carnal man, this man who just, you know, is like an animal, like a dog, and he just goes after everything he feels, then obviously that is not really the ideal candidate, or that is not, it's not the, he's not the archetype man, basically, you know, this man who's just who just yields to his animalistic you know, desires. I understand that, but you know, this is like, I don't know, bro. This was really some kind of a foolish statement. I don't even know how else to put it. This is a very, very foolish statement, and really shows how low the sense of humans. Like he said it already. I'll be coming. If anyone agrees with this kind of a statement, really, and can't articulate what they're trying to say in a better way, but it's problematic, man. Like, come on now. It don't even make sense, bro. The math is not mathing. That's what they say in it. Yeah, the sense is not sensing, bro. I don't know. Like, come on, like, bro. Like, is there a sense? Is there a reality where this makes sense?
People be talking because they have lips, bro, for no other reason, but just the fact that they have lips.
That's
they,
real,
they think that, and I don't really give up. I don't care who she is. Like, well, obviously nowadays, everyone just talks. How can the biggest red flag is a straight? How can the biggest red flag to you is a straight man? That means the majority of men just walking and breathing. Man, you're a red flag. You walk out your house, you're a red flag. Just like, because what's the population of this world that are homosexuals?
Like, it's a small percentage.
Right. So
very
that means she's saying the majority of men, point blank period, are red flags. I guess this goes back to that whole, who would you rather be in a woods with? Like, is it a bear or a man? It's like,
I think, you know what, I'm fairly sure, I don't know, don't hold me to this, don't shoot me in the comments, guys. I'm fairly sure when I looked up this lady, she's unnatural. I think she doesn't profess to have natural affections. I could be wrong, but I thought, like,
that would make sense in regards to the point she's making.
Because then I think that's how I think when I saw it, I was like, oh, they kind of spun her words out of context. It wasn't, you know, so you have to go back and find what she actually said and what the question was in actuality. But I think when I looked this up, she wasn't unnatural. She wasn't having natural affections towards men. I think, if I remember correctly. Tell us in the comments if you know. Like, if you know, tell us what one. But
yeah, bro.
I think I've come across.
Bro, go.
I've come across some of like her stuff or whatever. Like, she's a musician, isn't it? She's a musician.
Okay.
I've come across some of her stuff, and like, yeah, it's just she does come across quite like very like weird artistically. You know what I mean, yeah, she has like, yeah.
Because I was just gonna say, obviously, it would make sense if she swings that way, and it just seemed like as he was talking about it in my mind, I'm just like, this is a marketing campaign to get people down that pathway. Because if you're saying these are the red flags, then okay, if this is the red flag, so where are we gonna go? Where are people gonna go to? They're gonna go to the opposite or whatever is not in that pool. And as Ben said, it's like this is the majority of men in the world. The other men are into other stuff, or they're into no stuff or into other stuff. So if that's the scenario, that's the logical conclusion that those sorts of statements are going to direct people to in their minds, that, oh, and some people like want to go down that pathway with her, I guess, if she is that way inclined. But the guy said it, man. We've all said it. It just doesn't make, it's like, it's foolish. It doesn't make sense. We talk about this all the time, just the success of the nuclear family. Like, people, as Ben said so eloquently, like, people just be talking because they've got lips in it. They just, it's almost like, it's, I said it on our video on the UK Supreme Court. Like, it's a shame that we even have to have certain conversations today. But by the mere fact of having certain conversations just shows you the temperature of the place that we're living in 2025. Like, it's sad, man. But I thank God that there's still light. There's still light in different parts of the world that is able to at least like just shine and be a beacon where there's all madness going on. Because so many people, like, imagine if all of this sort of content, which is just highlighting this foolishness, just vanished, was gone. And these people were left to their own ideologies, their own ideas. They're in an echo chamber ultimately. And that's, when you think about like times, when you go through history, where you have like the suppression of opposing ideologies, opposing beliefs, and people are just left to their own divide. No, people are left in a society where one thing is the law and no one else can speak against it. No one else has the freedoms to go against it. Those are always societies that eventually just crumble because people don't want to live in those societies. They're not societies best governed to prosper, basically, when you're suppressing people from being free. And like, that goes to even what she's saying. Like, she has the freedom to spout nonsense and to spout something which is silly. But also we have the freedom in the world to expose just how silly it is. And hopefully people are clued up enough to know, like, okay, yeah, like, this really doesn't make sense. Obviously the guy's just going, he's going to the extremes in his examples to showcase the silliness of this sort of approach. We talk about this all the time anyway, like we spoke about in different videos recently as well. Like, there's an agenda obviously to devalue men and to try and get rid of what men bring to the table in society. And people only have to think a little bit. Like, it doesn't take much critical thinking to just think, like, what would happen if men were removed from this scenario? Like, too many people watching Wonder Woman, fam, to think that.
I think it's real, isn't it? They think Wonder Woman's a documentary, bro. They think it's a documentary, bro. Like, this stuff ain't real, lad. It's not real. You know what I mean? But yeah, but I mean, it's actually crazy. Like you said, it is like she has the freedom to talk how she's talking. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, I guess thank God we also have the freedom to be able to dispute that and to be like, yeah, that's absolute nonsense. Do you know what I mean? Like, but that's her opinion. Do you know what? You know what's crazy? Like we all know, like the key thing about all of this, knowingly or whether the person doesn't know, is that they're spewing out ideologies.
Yeah.
And these ideologies, sometimes the crazy thing is that some of these people, even as they talk, they don't even believe some of the stuff that they're saying. But someone on the other end, probably younger,
Yeah.
probably impressionable,
Mm-hmm.
will take on those ideologies and begin to live it out as though those ideas are their own.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets really bad. This is where sometimes I think I've had a conversation with a friend and I'm like, I hate all of this rubbish because like when these ideologies travel to, like, say that the younger generation, is it makes it become like more real. It could be utter nonsense, it could be fake, it could be whatever, like, but the more it gets spewed out, you know, like they say, the loudest one in the room always appears to be right.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have like so many people like believing in one idea, and you know, people like to follow, they don't want to be, they say misery loves company. People don't like to be alone, bro.
Yeah.
They don't like to be alone with their misery, but that miserable, who knows how her life is, but whatever she has, she's spewing it out and is just gonna attract, you know, people that don't think for themselves also. And they'll argue with you like you're the one in the wrong, which is pretty sad, but
Obviously, yeah, people will be saying like, yeah, she said something deep.
that's what I'm saying, bro. Well, start doing this and that.
For those of you who don't know, that's just a reference to our recent Will Smith video.
Wow.
We have to be mindful who we're getting our information from, because these people are celebrities. There's always this kind of idea that, you know, they have this niche, esoteric power, special knowledge that we don't have, and in turn, anything they say is valuable. And the reality is, like, people that think that couldn't be furthest from the truth. It's like they may have one skill, one ability that they've done really, really well in, trained well, or, you know, have excelled in, have been recognized for, and, you know, in turn, like, they make some money from it, they can monetize it, they're famous. But that doesn't mean that the rest of their life, as we've discussed in previous videos, is balanced, is powerful, is actually anything for us to draw from. And this is the big key, I think, especially for the younger generation. If there are any young people watching, it's like, you have to be mindful. Just because someone's good at one thing doesn't mean they're good at everything. Really, really, like, key, because this is nonsense. And like, you're saying that her music already is questionable, and I'm like, you know, music, bro. So if her sound ain't right, and like, you know, her performance ain't all there, and she's talking mess here, like, bro, like, what are people even listening to today? Like, what are they even listening to? It reminds me of mumble rap. Not that I even listened to it, but, you know, man, we're talking about like the mumble rappers, bro. It's like, you know, these guys that just appear to have some form of skill, ability, you know what I mean, artistry, but really it's just empty. There's nothing there.
I think that's where the world is. Like, it's sad because it just has to come from someone you consider important, or it just has to be over a beat that you consider to be banging, and people will run with it. Like, no question, nothing. Like, people will just run with it. It's actually quite sad. I would challenge people, you know, who may disagree with the take that we're bringing. I would challenge them to actually to analyze the idea. Forget the person, forget who it's coming from. One thing I've always taught my daughter from young, it's like, you can hear a good track that's praising your mum and how nice of a mum she is. Like, listen to the track, but leave the person who's done the track. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you can separate the two, because people are not ultimately bad and people are not ultimately good. So you can take an idea from a person, it's like, right, okay, cool, like, I understand what they're saying, or I've gone through that experience,
Mm-hmm.
and that's absolutely fine. But the problem, I think, comes from when someone likes a song from a person, or they begin to like songs from a person, they begin to idolize that person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That person now becomes whoever to them. So now it's like there's not. They can have. It could be something. They could be talking. They could be talking rubbish. Recently, Pastor Phillips.
Yeah.
Anthony Phillips.
Anthony Phillips, I think he's yeah.
I think I saw a post with one of his sermons, and he was talking about how people have began to turn their blackness into an idol.
Straight. True.
And I know that was gonna rub people the wrong way, like, because but ultimately he's telling the truth. And I'm not even saying like black people ain't gone through stuff and all that kind of stuff there. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying you can take something and allow it to become so magnified that even when there's a negative there, you don't pay attention to that negative anymore. I don't. No, I was going to mention something, but it's actually probably something to leave it, something that we should probably react to.
Yep. So you heard it right there. Celebrities don't know everything. They're not the one. But if you differ, if you feel that, celebrities that are good at one thing, in fact, might be good at everything, let us know down in the comments below, man. Come on, listen. This is Conversations with Biz. We're here to conversate. So not just the three of us. You guys chime in on the conversation and add something in the comments below, yeah? So we'll be out.
Peace.
Until next time.
Peace.